Okay, so today's story has got to be one of the most embarrassing things I've ever told. But I'm gonna be honest here, a lot of you guys for some reason enjoyed the video where I talked about beating my meat for the first time. But I bet you guys did not know that I also beated it at school. And it's super weird how this happened, so make sure you guys press that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And let's just jump straight into this. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name's Bubba, and welcome back to a really embarrassing story. So this story all takes place back when I was in grade 6, and when I just first started to, I guess beat my meat. I don't know why, but like beating your meat became like such a normalized thing in middle school, at least for me. And I don't know about girls, obviously for some reason they mature faster than guys, but I'm not gonna lie to you, the only way I knew how to handle my eggplant at the time, every time I got bricked, was to basically beat it. And I remember one time when I was in school, I was basically going to my locker. My locker was right beside my middle school crushes, by the way, which I talk a lot about her on the channel to the point where it's kind of creepy, but at the same time I guess I kind of just dwell over middle school. Like, I'm literally like Greg Heffley, except an adult version that keeps talking about middle school. Wow, I never realized how much those books actually mean to me. Anyways, going on with the story, I remember basically I was walking up to my locker and my middle school crush's locker was right beside mine. And when I went up to my locker, I remember I had to get ready for PE class, but I was always so nervous to go to my locker when my crush was there, because obviously that would mean that I have to interact with her, which is the main reason why I got the locker. So I decided to just say whatever and go up to my locker and start opening it. As I start opening it, I remember she looks over at me and says, what you up to? I'm just getting ready for class, same old. What about you? Oh, I'm just getting ready for class as well. Oh, what class do you got? Oh, I have PE. And as I'm about to reach into my locker for my gym bag, she automatically decides to basically touch me, move me aside, and grab my gym bag for me. She grabbed it and gave it to me saying, oh, here's your gym bag. And at that moment, I was so nervous. And I got to the point where I kept staring at her eyes and I got aroused. And then afterwards, I ended up grabbing my bag and running away. I didn't even lock my locker. She ended up locking it for me, which was nice of her, but at the same time, I didn't really know what to do at that moment. I remember from there, I instantly ran to basically PE class, but before that, I had to go to the change room. And when I went to the change room, all the guys were there changing, but me, one thing I realized about myself was that I was bricked. And the only way I knew how to handle getting bricked at the time was, well, beating my eggplant. Yeah, kind of weird, but honestly, on this channel, let's be real here, I've told worse. I remember from there, I was super nervous to get changed in front of everyone because I knew everyone was gonna make fun of me getting bricked. So what I decided to do was go to the middle school showers that were in the change room and basically get changed in there. But obviously before I got changed, since I was wearing sweatpants for PE, I decided to basically beat my meat in the shower at middle school. Yeah, I'm gonna say this right now, the middle school showers are literally cursed, and whoever actually uses the showers in middle school was probably a weirdo or your ugly gym teacher. But one thing for me, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was so like just bricked to the point where I knew if I wore my sweatpants and went to class, everyone was gonna notice that I was still bricked. So obviously I decided to beat my meat, and then I ended up just putting on my gym clothes and went straight to PE. I went to PE class, and obviously I wasn't bricked up anymore since I dealt with it, and on top of that, I hated PE class because I kept getting nailed in the head in dodgeball, because for some reason dodgeball is a unit. I don't know why. It's not like I'm gonna be dodging balls in real life, maybe bullets one day, but not balls. And then one thing led to another. I remember after PE class, I ended up going back towards the change rooms to get changed for my next class. As I was heading to the change rooms, I remember all the guys were there, but they weren't changing. They were all surrounding the middle school showers and looking at the ground saying, what is that white stuff on the ground? Wait, guys, come look at this. And I remember from there, everyone started to look at my devil's cream that was on the ground. I remember I was so nervous to go up there, and one of my friends actually came up to me, tapping me on the back saying, yo, Bubba, someone did the devil's cream in the middle school showers. Can you imagine? No, I can't imagine. That's so weird. Who would do that? That's like so disgusting. I had to pretend that it wasn't me because obviously I didn't want to get made fun of. So from there, I remember I ended up just basically not getting changed and ran straight for my locker. And honestly, who knows? Maybe like the middle school had like something they can like probe, my devil's cream, and then like basically like scan, and who knows, maybe that like devil's cream could have identified me. Like, I was in serious risk, people. At least that's what I thought in middle school. So from there, what I decided to do was basically go straight to my locker, and when I got there, I remember I ended up basically seeing my middle school crush there. When I saw her there, she was getting ready for her next class, and for some reason we kept going to our lockers at the same time, but at the same time, that's what I got the locker for in the first place. And when I walked up to my locker, I remember she looked at me saying, oh, you didn't get changed? Nah, I like sweatpants. sweatpants. And then I remember she looks over at me and says, oh, like, I recognize those sweatpants. My older brother has a pair. And ends up touching my sweatpants. She literally touched me near my eggplant area. I remember I was freaking out and I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. And I remember I ran straight for my next class. But before I went through that door, I realized that I was bricked once again. At this point, I didn't know what to do. There was only one way I knew how to handle it, and that was with Mother Nature herself and my left hand. So I remember I went straight to the bathrooms and I went straight into a bathroom stall and I decided to beat my meat once again. Obviously, you know, I did my thing. I did the devil's cream for the second time at school, which is super weird, by the way. And I remember right as I walk out of the bathroom stall, instantly I see two boys vaping in there that were in grade 8, just looking at me thinking, bro, there's no way this guy actually just beated his meat in a stall in middle school. What a weirdo. And then he ended up basically laughing at me and I ran out of the bathroom. And well, one thing led to another. I was known for beating my meat in school. Obviously, this was super embarrassing, but I'm not gonna lie to you, there was an upside to the story. Because I remember later on that year, I guess a lot of us started hitting puberty even more. And it got to the point where there was a chart on the bathroom stall wall that was basically how many times people have beaten their meat in the stall. That's super weird and I shouldn't be saying that because it's kind of gross at the same time. But hey, I mean, I wasn't the only one. I don't know. Moral of the story is that try to control yourselves. It's probably better to control yourself than not. Anyways, guys, that is basically it for today's embarrassing story. Make sure you guys press that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Seriously, it means a lot when you guys do. And just follow for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.
My name is Baba. I'm still on top of the world. Never taking with your mother. Of course, let's go. Should I make it a story? Let's click record.